When we talk about gravity in the NBA, we usually mean someone like Steph Curry, a player you have to pick up from the parking lot or he's raining threes on your head. But what happens if we flip it? The league now tracks defender distance using optical data, so we can actually measure perimeter gravity, reverse the rankings, filter out non-shooting bigs, raise the minimum to 20 minutes a night, and you're left with 4 players defenders are most comfortable abandoning on the perimeter. None of these names are surprising. These are the guys getting the full sag treatment every night. I'm calling them the perimeter pariahs. Now here's the real question. Does that actually hurt their offense? Because when a defender is standing 11 or 12 feet away, that space can either stall your flow or create an advantage. To find out, I narrowed it down to one consistent defensive lens, the Boston Celtics. They're disciplined, well-coached, and deliberate about who they help off of. And it turns out they played all 4 of these guys in the past month. So I went to the film to see exactly how Boston game planned for him and what actually happened when they did. It should be noted that without Steph, all bets are off with this Warriors offense, and it makes it a lot easier to just ignore Draymond as he continually took the bait and bricked 3 after 3, proving that his 1 year of hot shooting from wide open shots was not just an anomaly, but never created gravity anyway. You can see how Keita's sag can take away an otherwise open roll man in Pat Spencer, while also daring Green to shoot this 3 with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Remember, when guarding the man with the ball, you don't have to be anywhere near him, sagging as deep as you like into the lane. And this takes away the most clever part of the Warriors' offense, slipped screens. Porzingis gets a nice cut that should have been a dunk, but instead is met with Vucevic standing waiting for him. Any 3 Draymond takes with more than 4 seconds in the shot clock is a bad one. When the Celtics played the Knicks, their game plan was to put Keita on Josh Hart in a cross match, and on this possession, it made life hell for Brunson, who can't get anywhere with 2 players on him, as Boston lures Hart into taking the slightly contested 3. You see, Hart is shooting a career-high 40.7% from beyond the arc, but they're just about all wide open, meaning teams simply do not care even if he is taking almost 4 a game. If you put him in the corner, then his man can sag way off and dissuade what could have been a layup for Alvarado or a duck in for Cat against a much smaller player in Pritchard. And you can see that even a little hand up can disrupt Hart's rhythm and cause him to brick. The next 2 are fascinating since they're twin brothers, and I guess it makes perfect sense that they both have minimal gravity. In the case of Ausar, he simply does not take 3-pointers. Put him in the weak side corner and his man will ignore him, eliminating the open roll man and allowing the rest of the team to load up to Cade, which partly explains why Cunningham's percentage at the rim is so low. In the case of Amen, we'll see him try to take advantage of the runaway by driving, but Keita is bigger, stronger, and longer, and he wisely kicks it back out instead of challenging him here. But the Rockets' offense reacts to this by just standing around, and Thompson is probably encouraged by the Rockets staff to take these, but this stroke is anything but smooth, and unlike Hart, he can't even hit the wide open ones consistently. The Warriors try to combat the sag by getting Green involved in a lot of handoffs, but when they successfully chase Moody around, Keita can drop so low that he eliminates what would have been a wide open cutter and turns it into a turnover. Mike Brown coached Draymond in Golden State and brought the same concept to New York with Hart, but watch how both defenders can ignore Hart and just chase Bridges to the rim with Keita contesting this well. The Pistons flip the script and hand off to Ausar coming out of the corner, but Hauser will just go under everything to contain, and as the shot clock keeps running, the spacing is terrible, and I guess it made Duncan Robinson a little itchy on this 3-ball that's way off. Here's an extreme sag as Şengün swings it to Amen on the left side for a handoff, and Keita's positioning allows Shireman to top lock and deny KD the handoff altogether. Keita continues to ignore Thompson in the mid-range, forcing a contested 12-footer from KD that doesn't go down. I have to imagine coaching players with no gravity like this would age you exponentially and could cause years to be taken off your lifespan. That's why I recommend life insurance through Ethos. I've gone through the process of getting life insurance before, and let me tell you, it's a hassle, intrusive, and very time-consuming. With Ethos, it's all done online. You can get a quote within seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. Instead of blood tests and filling out dozens of medical forms like I've done in the past, with Ethos, there's no medical exam and just a few simple health questions. They offer up to $3 million in coverage, and some policies are as low as $30 a month. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos now by going to ethos.com/bball. In as little as 10 minutes, you can get your free quote and up to $3 million in coverage at Ethos. Getting life insurance should make you feel much better, but so should these next few clips, since having no gravity doesn't mean a death sentence for the offense. Even though Spencer catches Brown asleep at the wheel on this backdoor cut, and because of the sag, they don't get the layup, it did trigger a rotation down out of the corner, opening up a 3-ball for Guy Santos. If they use Green as a ball screener, Queta might get too comfortable with his sag, not realizing that Draymond knows how to eliminate on-ball defenders, leaving Spencer wide open for this nice hop into a 3. This curl action would typically get a layup for Moody, but Vucevic can just ignore Draymond in the corner to blow it all up. It then makes you wonder why on earth he close out like this. Just let him shoot it. But Draymond shows off his passing skills by setting up Spencer for the easy push shot. Josh Hart knows that you don't have to wait for the half-court offense to set up to take advantage of this cross match, catching Queta's head turned the wrong way and spinning him like a top as Hart stampede catches right to the basket for the off-foot layup. Hart knows he gets ignored often and quickly recognizes that the shooter in the corner might grab so much focus that he'll be wide open under the hoop for the nice feed from Shamet for another easy deuce. And the Knicks can invert their traditional pick and roll and also set it unusually close to the basket as Brunson screens for Hart at the elbow, opening up a little 15-footer that he gets to fall over the contest by Vooch. Ausar tends to have the least to do in the offense, as they're happy to have him just hang around the basket area via cuts like this when Cade commands all the focus and he can finish with a dunk. The Celtics opted not to cross-match on him until crunch time, and the Pistons kept Thompson engaged by having him bring it up, but you can see that he will just drift to the weak side dunker spot and watch as Duran takes Queta to the rack for a strong lefty finish off the glass. With the game in the balance, Queta is now guarding Ausar, and the Pistons use the ball screen for Cade to take advantage of the huge sag, as Cunningham gets no resistance into the lane, allowing him to hop into the floater for a key bucket. The biggest issue is that Ausar simply doesn't finish well at the basket, and when he's tried to take advantage of the runway, it yields suboptimal results, as he ranks 69th out of 75 players in field goal percentage at the rim, minimum 150 shots. Amen, on the other hand, has used this sag to generate some great passes, since no pressure means he's got a great view of everyone on the court as Capella comes up with his gem but can't finish point blank. He's also got a knack for the in-air one-handed one-timer, as Queta ignored him the whole way down, but watch this strike to the corner for the open 3 to Jabari Smith to cut the lead to 1. This was so pretty, let's look at it one more time. And to prove it was no fluke, he did it again later on this busted scramble play that earned Şengün an and one. The Rockets take a page from the Knicks playbook with the ball screen at the elbow, and while the Celtics are happy to give up a midi with a hand up, this one is a few feet too close as Amen makes him pay. If we examine their offensive rating on-off stats, we see that the Thompson twins are having the best impact on their respective teams overall, despite having some of the worst gravity in the league. They also have the 2 highest usage rates of these 4 players, so it indicates to me that both Ime and JB have been able to figure something out to play them a lot of minutes while maintaining top 10 offenses. Draymond, on the other hand, has been a drag on the Warriors' offense, and that's really hard to do considering most of his minutes are alongside Steph Curry. As we can see, even if these guys start hitting more 3-point shots, it would take a long time before defenses would begin respecting them enough to begin guarding them like a normal offensive player. And in the playoffs, where defenses will be even more prepared, I'd be very worried about any of these teams making a deep run when 20% of their offensive attack is treated like a perimeter pariah.